Hi all, today we are going to discuss about sequence networks of transformers. So if you take the three-phase transformers, generally the windings of each phase are made separate. So let us take for example the phase A winding is made on one limb and the winding of phase B is made on another limb and the winding of phase C is generally made on another limb. Both the LV and HV windings are kept on the same limb, one above the other. So generally they are placed like this. And second one, the transformer is a static device. So because it is a static device, the leakage impedance does not change and does not depend on the sequence in which we are giving the voltages. So that's why the positive sequence series impedance of a transformer is equal to its leakage impedance only, and this same thing, the same leakage impedance will be offered for the case of a negative sequence also, because the order in which the sequence is given so is not going to affect it, unlike the case of rotating machines. Here it is not the rotating machine, static device, so they are not going to affect. So we can tell that for the case of transformer, the positive sequence impedance will be exactly equal to negative sequence impedance, which will be nothing but the leakage impedance of the transformer, which we have studied in the transformers playlist. We have seen the transformer leakage impedance, that series reactance what we are mentioning. So that is equal to the positive sequence impedance as well as the negative sequence impedance. And generally the zero sequence impedance of the transformer is a little bit different than positive negative, but approximately it is nearly equal to the positive and negative sequence impedance only. So in practice we assume that zero sequence impedance is also equal to the leakage impedance only. But the flow of the zero sequence currents depends on the type of the winding connections. That means whether we are going for star connection, delta connection. Again in star connection, whether we are going for the neutral is grounded, solid grounding, reactance grounding. So all those things defines the effect of the zero sequence currents. So let us see how they are going to affect. Coming to the positive and negative sequence, positive and negative sequence representation is easy. It will be simple like the representation of the transmission line only. Coming to the zero sequence, it is different. So that we are going to analyze now. So for analyzing the zero sequence currents, let us assume there is a transformer. So these are the windings of the transformer. So here the currents that are passing, let us assume IA. This current I am assuming this is my B phase IB, and this current supplied is IC. And let us assume this transformer is grounded through some reactance. So that reactance I am representing by Zn. So now let us assume some fault has happened in some of the phases. So automatically the currents are disturbed. So when the currents are disturbed, the fault current that is passing, so this I am representing by the fault current. So the same current will come back, that fault current, or this current is passing or returning back through your neutral. I am representing this by In. So now whenever the fault happens, the point of this neutral point, the voltage of this neutral will not be at ground potential, because the current is passing like this. Automatically the voltage will be dropped like this. So the neutral point will be at a little bit of lesser voltage when compared to the ground potential, because the current is passing like this. Here plus minus voltage will drop. You agree with me? So we can tell the voltage of the neutral point during the fault condition will be equal to minus In multiplied by Zn, because In is passing through the impedance which is connected in the neutral circuit. So this is with respect to ground or the reference point. Getting this one? So let us try to analyze what will be the value of this neutral current. That means the current that is passing through this neutral point, because you can see here the currents that are supplied here. This is my current IA and this is my current IB and this is my current IC. So at this junction the sum of the currents will be equal to 0, or otherwise, because the neutral current is entering and these currents are leaving, we can tell that In will be nothing but equal to IA plus IB plus IC. We know that this IA, IB, IC can be represented in terms of the sequence components. You agree with me? So sequence components we have already seen, the positive, negative and zero sequence component. So positive sequence component current can be represented like this. This is IA1. And similarly, this is IB1 and this is IC1. So you can see this IA1, this IC1 is leading this by 120 degrees. So this I can represent as alpha times of IA1. And here this one is leading this one by 240 degrees. So this I can write as alpha square times of IA1. Similarly, coming to the negative sequence. So negative sequence, again I can write this is my negative sequence IA2 And in the case of negative sequence, the sequence is opposite. So here IB2 comes here and IC2 comes here. So automatically this IB2 will be equal to alpha times of IA2. IC2 is alpha square times of IA2 because it is displaced by 240 degrees. Now coming to the zero sequence component, we have seen in the last class, this is nothing but equal to IA naught. This is IB naught and IC naught. So these two are equal to IA naught only. So zero sequence components are same. So now I can represent the value of IA, IB, IC. So from this diagram, I can write my value IN will be equal to IA is nothing but IA1 plus IA2 plus IA naught. So now I can represent the value of IB in terms of IA. So IB1 is nothing but alpha square. So this I can write as alpha square times of IA1 plus alpha times of IA2 plus IA naught. This is my value of IB. Similarly, the value of IC I can represent as the IC will be equal to, here IC1 is alpha. So this is alpha times of IA1 plus alpha square times of IA2 plus IA naught. You agree with me up to here? So now this I can make the sum. So this I can separate IA1, IA2 and IA naught component separately. So this I can write as IA1. So this will be equal to 1 plus alpha square plus IA2 into 1 plus alpha square plus the third component is 3 times of IA naught. 3 times of IA naught. So where the value of alpha is nothing but 1 at an angle of 120 degrees. So please remember this one. So now 1 plus alpha square, we have seen in the last class, this will be equal to 0 because these are nothing but the vectors which are displaced by 120 degrees having the same magnitude. That means alpha is 1 at an angle of 120 degrees, alpha square is 1 at an angle of 240 degrees and 1 will be equal to 1 at an angle of 0 degrees. So sum of these components will be equal to 0. That's why this becomes 0. So this IN will be equal to 3 times of IA naught. So we can write the value of the neutral voltage. The voltage that is in the neutral will be equal to, this is IN because minus IN into ZN. This is what we got. So this is nothing but minus 3 times of IA naught into Zn. But practically when you draw the circuit, in the circuit we assume that the current is IA naught only, not 3 times of IA naught. So that's why this I can write as minus IA naught into 3 times of Zn. IA naught into 3 times of Zn. So that's why, so practically if you are connecting your neutral through some impedance, that impedance will be multiplied by 3 times while representing in the zero sequence network. So please remember this one. Why we are taking 3 times of Zn, the reason is this one. I hope this is clear to you. So now this I can represent in this form. So for this particular star connection, so this is nothing but the circuit Z0 is the zero sequence impedance and this will be equal to 3 times of Zn and the current I0 is passing through this one. So this is the equivalent zero sequence network. So this is zero sequence network for this connection. So here now let us take the different cases. So now this is Zn can be 0. So if this is Zn is equal to 0, if Zn is equal to 0, so automatically it acts as a short circuit. That means this point will act as a short circuit. So the final, this diagram reduces like this. So this will become only Z0 and this will be I0 will be there. So let us take the case the neutral is not grounded. When neutral is not grounded, Zn become equal to infinity. When Zn become infinity, this will act as a open circuit. So your connection will resemble like this. So this is my value of Z0 and this is my connection. So it is acting as a open circuit. So automatically when it is open circuit, I0 will be equal to 0. So let's try to analyze this one. So then we will proceed further. So what I am taking the case? I am taking the case of a transformer. So I am taking any one side. So this is my transformer where my neutral point is not grounded. So whenever the fault happens here, because this is my current IA and this is my current IB and this is my current IC, as the neutral point is not grounded because it is not connected to ground. So automatically at this neutral point, the sum of the current IA plus IB plus IC should be equal to 0 because at the neutral point IA plus IB plus IC will be equal to 0. So that means there is no current, no zero sequence current can pass because the closed path is not there for the passage of zero sequence current. There is no closed path for the passage of zero sequence current, that's why it will not be there. Or this we can represent as there is an open circuit, the current cannot pass, or I naught is equal to 0. This is what I have represented. This can be analyzed in two ways. So let us take the case of delta connection. So before proceeding to the delta connection, let us take one more case. So let us take, there is a transformer. So transformer, this is my primary. Because transformer connection, different connections are possible. So this is my star-star transformer connection. So this is my secondary. So let us assume this secondary is connected to ground. So let us take the case of solid grounding. So if the fault happens here, this fault current whatever comes, that fault current can return back through this one. So whenever the fault comes, this is my value of IA, this is my value of IB, this is my value of IC. So this current can return back from here. So this IN is not equal to 0. So IN can pass. But whenever this IN is passing, if you take to the primary side, so primary side I am representing by capital letters. Let us assume this is equal to IA and this is equal to IB and this is equal to IC. So at this junction, if you take IA plus IB plus IC is equal to 0, so there is no return path for the passage of current here. That means even though zero sequence component can pass in the secondary, but the zero sequence component cannot pass in the primary because there is no ground return path for this one, because zero sequence component can pass only if there is a return path provided for this one. Because if you apply the KCL here, you can observe here IA plus IB plus IC is equal to 0. Here zero sequence cannot pass. So this can be analyzed in a different way. Actually zero sequence currents are co-phasor in nature. You agree with me? Because zero sequence currents, so all the three currents are co-phasor in nature. So this is my value of IA naught. So this is my value of IB naught. This is my value of IC naught. So let us assume the current is coming like this. This is one current and another current is coming from here. Another current is coming from here. So all the currents are co-phasor in nature. You can see they are co-phasor in nature, and this sum, because whenever they are intersecting here, there is no passage for the passage. So you can take the sum. So the sum will not be equal to 0. You can see here IA naught plus IB naught plus IC naught cannot be equal to 0. But if they want to satisfy the KCL, so that can be satisfied as they are co-phasor in nature. That can be satisfied only if their magnitude is equal to 0. That means what I mean to tell, so all these magnitude of this one will be equal to 0 in the primary side. But whereas in the secondary side, if you are taking here IA plus IB plus IC, because they are also co-phasor in nature, all are in phase with each other. So this is my component IA naught, IB naught, IC naught, IA naught, IB naught and IC naught. So this zero sequence currents can return back through this one, because this whatever the currents are there, these currents can be supplied by this IN. So this IN we can take it as 3 times of I naught. So 3 times of I naught current will pass through this one. So this IN is equal to 3 times of I naught. Because IA naught is equal to IB naught is equal to IC naught. So this is equal to I naught. So 3 times of I naught can return back, so it can circulate in the secondary. So what I mean to tell, if this is my zero sequence impedance of this circuit, if you are coming to the secondary side is providing the closed path for the passage of this. So depending on what is the impedance of your neutral, it can be either 0 or you can represent with whatever is the neutral impedance. Now coming to the primary side, as the neutral is not grounded, so automatically impedance offered in the primary side, the neutral impedance is equal to infinite. So automatically it acts as an open circuit, whereas in the secondary circuit this will be equal to 3 times of Zn. So 3 times of Zn, in our example it is connected through solid grounding, so it will act as a short circuit, whereas in the primary side the Zn is equal to infinity. So Zn is equal to infinity, so it acts as an open circuit. So what I mean to tell, here the secondary can supply the closed path for the zero sequence current, but primary side it cannot pass. That's why this will be the equivalent circuit for this one. So let us take the case of delta connection now. So if you are taking for the case of delta connection, so delta connection is like this. So this is the delta connected circuit. So in the delta connected circuit, the 3 currents I can represent. This is my value of IA. This is my value of IB, this is my value of IC. So whenever the fault happens, so this fault there is no path for returning of this one. That means there is no return path for the flow of the current. So zero sequence components of the currents cannot pass in the lines of the delta connection. That means in the case of delta connection, the zero sequence cannot pass because the closed path is not provided. So if you can represent this one, so this I am representing like this. So whenever the fault comes, the zero sequence currents, that means the zero sequence current Ia naught is equal to 0 here. Similarly, the zero sequence component cannot pass here, as well as the zero sequence component of current cannot pass. Again, same thing, the zero sequence component are co-phasor in nature. Let us assume the current, if you are taking at any junction if you take, as they are co-phasor in nature, so they cannot close their path, because here also current is leaving, because the current entering somewhere can return back to the second one. Law of conservation of charge, but that cannot happen here because there is no path for the passage of the zero sequence current. So we can tell that the zero sequence currents are absent in the line. So in the line, zero sequence components cannot pass. But whereas if you go into this delta connection, inside the delta connection, the zero sequence components can circulate, provided there is a zero sequence component of EMF induced. Zero sequence components are co-phasor in nature, agree with me? So let us assume the EMF induced in this winding is like this. EMF induced in second winding is like this. Similarly, the EMF induced in the third winding is like this. So this is nothing but V0. This is nothing but V0. This is nothing but V0. So this is my equivalent circuit. So if zero sequence voltages are induced here, because of this the current can circulate in this one. So this will be equal to zero sequence component of current can pass, only circulate within the delta connection, provided only zero sequence voltages are induced. So what I can conclude from here, in the case of delta connection, zero sequence component can circulate within the delta, but they cannot pass in the external circuit. So this I am making the summarization of this one. So the important observations are, when magnetizing current is neglected, transformer primary would carry the current only if there is a current flow on the secondary side. So this one we have observed. And second one, the zero sequence components of current can flow in the legs of a star connection only if the star point is grounded, which provides the necessary network path for zero sequence component of currents. And no zero sequence components of currents can flow in the lines connected to delta connection, as no return path is available for these currents. But the zero sequence current can, however, flow in the legs of a delta connection due to the presence of zero sequence voltages in the delta connection. That means only if zero sequence voltages are induced in the delta connection, in that case the current can circulate in the delta connection, otherwise it cannot circulate. So therefore, the various conditions that can take place can be considered by taking one equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit I can draw like this. There are switches A and B. This A and B are the line switches, they are a series component. We know that the current can pass in the line only for the case of star connection, and how much is the impedance of this switch will depend on whether the neutral is solidly grounded or it is grounded through some impedance. So for the case of solid grounding, let us take for example primary side is star connected. So this switch will be closed, and what will be the impedance of this switch? The impedance of this switch I can represent as 3 times of the neutral impedance. So this is the primary side. Similar is the case secondary side. If it is star connected, this switch will close with an impedance equal to 3 times of the neutral impedance Zn. That is done. So now coming to the shunt switches, that means C and D, these indicates the current can circulate in the winding, but they don't pass in the line. So the switch C will be closed if it is a delta connection, primary is delta connection, and switch D will close if secondary side is delta connected. That means the shunt switches will close for the case of delta connection, series switches will close only for star connection, because in delta connection current cannot pass in the line. So let us take the different cases now. I am taking star-star transformer with both sides solidly grounded. So whenever both sides they are solidly grounded, the connection diagram will be like this. So whenever the fault happens, then current can return back through this neutral. So automatically this transformer can supply the fault current, because the fault current can return back through this neutral. So this energy should be supplied from the primary only. So primary side currents can pass only if there is a closed path in the primary circuit also. That means only if there is a neutral connection, then only this can be supplied by the primary. Otherwise, whatever is the current zero sequence component supplied by the secondary of the transformer, that cannot be supplied by your primary. So in this case, as both are solidly grounded, you can see this is P, this is Q. In between there is an impedance Z0. So that means this zero sequence component of current is supplied from your supply. That means from P to Q, zero sequence component of current will pass. So let us take the case the primary neutral is not grounded. If primary neutral is not grounded, I told you that switch will be represented by 3 times of the neutral impedance. Here neutral impedance is equal to infinite. So that means it cannot provide the closed path for the zero sequence component of currents, or otherwise we can tell that this primary cannot supply the zero sequence component required for your secondary side. That's why this will be open circuited and Q is closed and this value is equal to Z0. So let us take the case of primary side is star connected with neutral grounded and secondary side is delta connected. So now if the secondary side is delta connected, let us assume the fault happened somewhere, but this delta cannot supply the fault, but it can circulate the currents within this only if the zero sequence components are induced. So that's why in the secondary side you can see the series switch I am representing with open switch, because the impedance offered for zero sequence in line is infinite, because we can take it as equivalent to Zn is not connected, that's why it is open circuit. Whereas as it can circulate within this loop, that's why I am closing my shunt switch in the secondary side. Now coming to the primary side, as the primary side is connected through a solid grounding, that's why this switch is closed here. And if it is not solidly grounded, it is connected with some impedance. So accordingly 3 times the impedance of that will be connected in primary. So shunt switch is closed in secondary and series switch is closed in primary. So in this case also, if the fault happens in the secondary, you can see after Q fault happens, that zero sequence component of current cannot be supplied by primary. So you take the vice versa, that means a delta by star transformer with neutral grounding. That means this entire network will become reverse. So in the case of reverse, so this Q will come this side, P will come this side. You agree with me? So in that case, your P, that means your supply will not supply the zero sequence component of current, but the zero sequence component required for the secondary side, because secondary is star connected, that will be supplied by the circulating currents in this delta. That's why you can please refer to my transformers playlist. I have explained there what is the function of tertiary winding in stabilizing the neutral of star connected transformer. So there I have explained how it will stabilize it. You can please refer there. You will understand the concept completely clearly. When the supply is not supplying, but still how delta can supply the required zero sequence component. I have explained there in detail in transformers playlist. So now I am taking the case of star by delta. Star neutral is not grounded. So automatically this Zn is equal to infinite. So that's why this will be open circuited here. Secondary side is delta connected. So shunt switch is closed and series switch is opened. So if both sides are delta connected, in that case the currents cannot pass in the line, but they can circulate. So that's why both the shunt switches I have closed, but series switches are open circuited. So in this case also, whenever the fault happens, it cannot be supplied by your fault. So let us take one small example so that you will understand how to draw the zero sequence impedance. So for that I am only taking the diagram because of that time concern. So whenever we are discussing the numericals, there we will discuss in detail. So here I want to draw the diagram only. So there is a generator. This generator is star connected with neutral is grounded. So let us assume this generator zero sequence impedance I am representing as zero sequence impedance of generator. ZOJ I have represented. So as it is a star connection, so star connection means it will be directly connected. That means it is a closed circuit. So this is directly closed. So now coming to the transformer. So for the transformer, primary side is delta connected. As the primary side is delta connected, the series switch is open, but your shunt switch is closed. So shunt switch is closed. So after this comes the zero sequence impedance of transformer T1, ZO T1 I have represented. Now coming to the secondary side it is star connected and that too solidly grounded, so it is short circuited like this. Okay, now coming to your transmission line, this is the zero sequence impedance of your transmission line. Done. So now coming to again this transformer, the primary side is star with solid grounding, so automatically the switch is closed. That switch is having zero impedance, and this is my zero sequence impedance of transformer T2. So now coming to the secondary side of the transformer, it is delta connected, so series switch is open, but the shunt switch is closed. It is done. So now coming to this generator. So in this generator, it is star connected with neutral is grounded. So as the neutral is grounded, so it will have one more impedance. This switch will have 3 times of Zn. So let us represent this as Zn. 3 times of Zn, and this is 0 sequence component of generator G2. This is generator 1. Coming, I think it is clear to you. So this way we have to represent. Let us assume this generator is not connected to ground. So in that case, here it will act as a open switch. So for the case of generator also, it will act as a open switch here, because the neutral is not connected to ground, so 0 sequence cannot pass. So in the next class, I am going to discuss about what are the sequence component for the case of generators. So after that, we will proceed for how to make the analysis of the faults under different cases. We will see both the symmetrical and unsymmetrical faults in the coming lectures. I hope how to draw the sequence network for the case of transformers and what is the reason behind each one is completely clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you very much.